one day there'll be 10 waiting. It's gonna be rad.
Yeah. All right. It's nighttime. We're live. We've got Rolo here.
Yeah, what's up?
See if anyone else shows up.
Hopefully people come in the chat and talk some smack, dude.
Yeah, let's bring it on.
I'm gonna send it to a few more people.
Okay. We like smack.
I like it. I like having friends I can talk smack to. That's for sure.
Oh, we got Grant.
Dang, I was just about to ask him to come in. What's up?
We got
What's up, Grant?
Keeping it real.
Good
dude. Nice. Thanks for showing.
Heck yeah.
Grant. Robot.
Great.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. Yeah, thanks, Rolo, for coming and agreeing. And howdy, y'all. We got Cha.
Dang, that's my sister. Shout out my sister for being here.
Shout out. Yeah, she got the family obligation to support.
She's always supporting.
That's good. Where do you live? I mean, are you in California?
Yeah, I'm in SoCal.
You're in SoCal. Okay, cool.
Yeah, best place on earth.
Oh yeah, I loved living in SoCal. I went to school in LA, and then I stayed in LA for a couple of years afterwards, and it was so fun.
Dude, it's the best for sure. Where'd you go to school in LA?
I went to UCLA.
Oh, nice. I used to live up in Santa Clarita.
Okay. Oh yeah, beautiful. Yeah, by Six Flags.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
My dad was a recruiter at UCLA for a while.
Oh, nice, dude. Yeah.
For the Marine Corps, not for UCLA.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Grant wants to know if Grandma's coming.
I have no idea. I don't even know who Grandma is.
Abuelita?
Oh, my grandma. Yeah, my grandma would come on the live sometimes.
Oh, really nice.
Yeah. I don't know if she's going to be here. I think she only gets notifications from my channel.
Okay, nice. Oh, that's awesome. So she does actually support. That's
yeah, it's a family affair, man. I think that's how it starts, right? It's the family supports at the beginning, and every now and again, I love to seeing my mom will take like a screenshot of a screenshot and she'll post it on her Facebook, and she's like, "Check out my son on YouTube." I'm like, I love that. That's so good. Yeah, she posts the link that's not clickable at all. It's a screenshot of it.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Hey, Danny, how's it going?
It's going pretty well. How about you?
Good.
You guys already do that second challenge?
No, I'm being a big wimp wuss. I have not done the Kill the Night Challenge Volume 2 yet. Got Tater Tots done it. I don't know if Vic's done it yet. So,
what's the challenge?
So yeah, we came up with this idea that we would do a weekly kind of adaptive sort of friendly workout that could be, we could have people post their times online, and Victor did it. The first run at it was this kind of insane 150 double unders with like a 70-pound dumbbell thruster, and it was just kind of intense. And I think the only people that did it were me, Vic, and Tyler. And I lost to both of them, obviously. I cried a little bit. It was really tough. But yeah, Victor wrote another one, but I don't think anyone's done it yet.
Okay, so what is the second one?
Second one's like this triplet that has, oh my gosh, it's on my.
So what's the idea behind the challenge? So people can just text random challenges, or this is an adaptive challenge only, or?
Yeah, I think the original thought was it'll be a workout that forces people to use that one arm, kind of simulate it's sort of like a high level simulation of what it's like to be an adaptive athlete in like our division, our upper 1 point.
Okay.
And I think that was kind of like part of it would be that, we're trying to attract kind of like the highest level guys that are kind of affiliates who are kind of interested in trying out something new or different, testing it out, see how it goes, kind of like walk in our shoes, so to speak, a little bit. So we're thinking like, if you have a mono rope, use the mono rope. If you are so inclined, just use one arm for that single arm dumbbell thruster with, something heavy like 70 pounds. And that was kind of, anyways, that's kind of the concept. I think our follow through hasn't been great, obviously, yet. So, but
it's only season 1, so come on.
Season 1. Come on. Exactly. But volume 2 was 15, 12, 9, 6, 3, push jerks, burpees over bar, pistols, or front squats at 95 pounds for men, 70 pounds for women.
And this is done with one arm.
Yeah. If you
are you going to do it with one arm, or are you going to get a little bit of that push with the other?
This guy, I would do one arm. I guess like I have a push a little bit in a way from like a front rack, just using my shoulder here. But I don't know. I wouldn't consider that using my right arm.
Right.
I think
I was talking more like on the burpees. So I think you had mentioned that before.
Yeah, burpees. Because I have a little bit of a push with my right arm, so I would do it. I would try the true 1 point of contact.
Yeah. Also, how are your pistols coming along?
Not good. We don't want to talk about it. Rolo, do you have any ideas? Any tips?
Tips on pistols?
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's so many tips, man, that we could go over. You could be doing them off a box. You could be doing single leg steps, candlestick. And you know what candlestick is?
I think so. Is that kind of like you wrap one around the back?
No, candlestick is when you sit down towards your butt, you roll back, and then you throw stand up with your feet. One thing that helped me big time with pistols was you do that, but then you land on one foot and try to balance on the foot, and then you go back to the candlestick, and then eventually you develop the strength to be able to stand up from the candlestick with one leg, and it's kind of like working the bottom up. So there's a ton of stuff that you could do for sure for pistols, man.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Actually, I mean, I think that's part of the thing with. I like that idea of because I mess around in the gym, like doing the warm up. I'm like, I'm gonna try to do a candlestick, and I can't do it yet, really. But
yeah,
but it's just I'm already doing it as to fool around, so I might as well. Okay, so we got Tyler. Tyler's here.
Hi guys.
What's up?
My kids are running around, so it might get loud. So I might just put this on mute for a while. I'm listening.
You're good. Danny's on his way to the gym. Looks like
I am on my way to the gym.
Yeah.
Tyler's got his kids running around, and yeah.
I have been listening this whole entire time too. It's like I was already here.
Okay. Tyler, you're saying that you were watching a previous episode and talking to the YouTube page.
When I was at work, I was watching last week's episode because I wasn't able to go on it. We were pumpkin carving, and it's funny because I was listening and Emily was talking about like how I was saying something about squirrel hunting, and I was like trying to reply back to it, and I was like, I'm not. This isn't even live.
That's awesome. Have you eaten your?
It's just too much like our old like conversations of just like bouncing ideas off each other in real time. That like once you're not there, it's weird.
Yeah. Have you eaten your squirrels yet, Tyler? No.
I was going to for this episode, but I got home too late.
Yeah. Hey, we got Aaron. Hello, guys. Sending a hug to everyone, especially Papi Chulo, Rolo.
Aaron's a good dude. I've known Aaron for a long time.
Yeah, I've had some awesome conversations with Aaron. How do you know him?
So we met in maybe 2018 or 19. He has a company called Toto Wraps. He makes gymnastics grips and lifting straps and leather goods. And he had brought some to the gym that I was working out at. And I've been using those grips and wraps ever since. And he's always taken care of me. And so that's how we met at first. And we just became friends. And we, get workouts in when we can. And hang out when we can.
Yeah. When he comes up to Tijuana.
Exactly. When he comes up from Mexico. Exactly. Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, Aaron's an awesome dude. So yeah, we've been having some cool conversations about adaptive CrossFit stuff. 1 point, 2 points, whatever. Hey, so Rolo, I have a question. So, what's been your you did a lot of content about adaptive CrossFit this year at the games. What was sort of your favorite athlete story or interview, or kind of, I guess, tell me about something that kind of came up during the games that you thought was just super interesting and it's kind of stuck with you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been making adaptive athlete content since last Wheel WOD. I was pretty inspired by that. I started working with Brett Palzer last year before the games, and I was his wheelman. And I got to just hang out with everybody, speak with everybody, and it was really Ludfie, shout out random things, and was able to talk to everybody and have good conversations. And I didn't bring my camera because I was Brett's wheelman that year. So the focus was on him, but I had the opportunity to have just incredible conversations, deep conversations. The competition was pretty small. For example, in seated 2 is just 3 dudes. So us 3 were hanging out, chatting and having a good time. So the opportunity to go around, and I almost think I spoke with everybody that was there. And that inspired, I want to make more content. And the idea behind it was to have some games athletes do some of the adaptive workouts to see how it feels, and to show the world like, hey, just because these people are adaptive athletes doesn't mean they aren't extremely fit, right? It's not like they're adaptive athletes, so it's different.
We're not scaled athletes.
What's that?
We're not scaled athletes or something.
Yeah, it's not scaled. It's like very, very high caliber athletes within the modifications that they need for their adaptation. And I found that interesting. So I was like, how can I show the world this? So we got Lauren Fisher did a seated workout. We had Josh Bridges do a seated workout. Will Morad. We had Brooke Wells watch. She was like, I'm not doing that. There's no way I'm getting hurt before the season. But it was really cool to see all of these athletes, like their minds like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that this was something that was going on. So going into this year, we did some more of that content. And then I really wanted to bring a camera to Wheel WOD. So I pawned Brett off to my coach. I was like, hey, Brett, I love you. I would love to continue working with you, but I feel like my calling is more content right now. So I took the camera to the games, and he loves my coach. Like my coach is a good dude. You know, the biggest thing for me at the games, talking to everybody, was it just felt like what CrossFit felt like in 2012 when I started. And that was everybody was there to support each other, they were just so excited to be there. And you know, it's so different now when you go to like Wadapalooza, Rogue Invitational, you know, CrossFit Games. But going to the adaptive CrossFit Games, it was, you ask everybody, what are you most excited for? And they're like, I'm just so excited to be here with everybody. I'm excited to be here with my friends. And even though that I'm competing against them, just being able to be here with them is my favorite part. And to me, that was the most special, because again, that's kind of what it has always been for me. It's, you know, pushing each other to be better, showing people what you can do. And that's regardless of adaptive CrossFit or just CrossFit. It's pushing the limits, showing people that the limits that they thought they had are not even near what they can do. Like they can achieve so much more. And then I think my second favorite thing is just talking to all the athletes who at one point in their life, somebody told them they were never going to be able to do this again. And now they're doing 10 times as much as they were able to do even before their diagnosis. So
yeah, wow,
that's my long-winded answer.
No, that's beautiful. That's awesome. I thought I totally resonated with that vibe of like, I'm just happy to be here kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've shared that with Danny. I've shared that with Tyler too. Like, I think,
Danny.
Hey, Brody, how's it going?
Hey, you remember your name. Good job.
How's Danny?
That's Danny's right there.
Yeah. Hi, Brody.
That's good Danny.
You, Jen?
You going to the gym?
Yeah, just got there.
Got a coach right now?
Yeah, in like 15 minutes.
Nice.
Oh, they come here.
But yeah, no, that was one of the things that I was just happy to meet these guys, hang out with them. Tyler's in my division. I feel like there's a kind of a more special connection that we had with the guys that were in our, like, you know, that we're competing against. So that's really beautiful and cool to hear that, like, you know, this was kind of like this is like real OG stuff almost, you know.
The sentiment seems similar for every division. For example, the deaf division, one of the ladies, she's never met somebody else who was deaf.
Yeah.
And that seemed very similar in a lot of divisions. They said, I've never met anybody with the same diagnosis as me, let alone somebody in CrossFit who's adaptive. Most of these athletes work out in a gym that don't have other adaptive athletes. You know, they're lucky to have maybe one other adaptive athlete within their town. So this is just, it's kind of mind blowing for most of the people that were there, and people came from all over the world. You know, it was really awesome.
Yeah, I heard that from Emily, I think on one of the videos that you did, and this I hadn't talked to her about it, but she and I both have our Erb's palsy, kind of this
Right.
brachial plexus injury from birth, and she was like, I've never had a conversation with anyone who has this, so it's kind of like, dude,
Isn't that wild?
yeah. I mean, it is wild. I remember the first conversation that I had ever with someone. It wasn't from birth. It was from a motorcycle accident, which is very typical for the brachial plexus injury stuff. But yeah, it's just kind of mind blowing. It's really really cool.
Yeah, that's what I thought was cool about the games, because me, Victor, and Moises have the same injury, basically the same accident. Mine was on a dirt bike. I believe both theirs were on a street bike, but basically same injury, same accident, and it's good to talk to people that have the same injury, because you kind of learn that the pain that you go through, you didn't go through it yourself, like it.
Yeah, you're not an island, right?
Yeah,
you're not by yourself. Other people exist that are going through this. I think that's like the strongest part of CrossFit, to be honest, is finding other people that are like you. And you there's always those situations where you're like, oh, blah 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 this, and they're like, oh shit, I did that too, and you're like, no shit, you did that too, and they're like, yeah man, and this happened. They're like, that happened to me too, and then you're like, okay, I can fucking go do squats in the garage. Like, oh man, dude,
Yeah, totally. That's awesome. So, all right. So, I imagine there's been a lot of, I don't know. I used to work in like a creative. I mean, I still do to some extent, but as I feel like as a creator, you imagine you're sort of like spending a lot of your energy and resources and information, just like putting stuff out there into the universe, right? Like, on the internet, like the internet's big. There's tons of people from all over the world. Maybe there's trolls. Maybe there's people that are super sportive. Maybe there's people that have never seen anything so interesting or incredible. Like, as a creator, kind of like what have you, and you make content just for regular CrossFit people too, not just adaptive. So like, has there been a difference in the reactions between, say your typical content on your platforms or adaptive content? What's the feedback been like, I guess?
Yeah, the feedback from the adaptive community is awesome. Everyone loves it. I think some people are afraid to like or comment on some of the memes I make with the adaptive community. So the adaptive community is like, yeah, it's fucking hilarious. And then some people, within like general population that don't know any of you guys, they're like, is this okay? Like, can I laugh at this? And I've actually heard that from a few other creators as well. They're like, I don't know how you do it.
Okay.
And I'm like, I just talk to them and they think it's funny. So I don't, if one of the adaptive athletes thinks something's funny and they're down to make a video with me and we talk about it and they think it's hilarious, I don't mind posting it. If they didn't like it, then I wouldn't post it anyway, So the fact that most of the athletes every athlete that I've made a video with is like, yeah, this is hilarious. Let's do it. Here's how we make it way worse.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Ogre's like, I want you to tackle me. I'm like, all right, if we're going to tackle you, let's tackle you. And then the internet's like, this guy's tackling a dude in a wheelchair.
It's not okay.
Exactly. You definitely have some of that. But if you guys like it, it's funny to me. So
yeah.
I'm going through your page right now. Sorry. I don't follow you, so I'm gonna follow you right now. But
nice. Yeah. Enjoy. Go back to Wheel Wad time. There's a few of them. I've got Sean Everly coming on my podcast tomorrow, and his video is one of my favorites that we did at the games.
Which one was that?
Sean Everly. He's short stature. He's 3'10".
Okay.
And he pretended to be my sandbag.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna say that was.
You kind of get like your hands under the sandbag. I was like, hey man, I kind of have to like tickle you, and he's like, you can tickle me anytime. He's a funny dude, man. He's a really funny guy.
I love that.
And we have to do it again too. And he's like, I don't mind getting tickled again.
Yeah.
So he's hilarious. He's a character for sure.
I was gonna say that. I think that's been my favorite one. I love that.
I just throw him through the air. It's awesome.
Yeah. Just like, oh, this is a sandbag. It's about the same weight, right?
I mean, we were doing that with Brody one evening.
Oh,
trying to like.
Yeah.
I think it was the night before the first event or whatever, just trying to get a feel for
what a 80-pound noodle would feel like because my son's
Yeah.
used to
Oh,
80
yeah.
pounds.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
What was it?
I literally had him just lay flat. Just lay flat and we'll figure this out. And it actually
Exactly.
was
That's
pretty
exactly
much
what
the
I
same
did to him.
technique that I had to use.
Yeah.
So it worked out pretty well.
What did they call
Functional.
that? The cross, but it was like just
Cross
a
carry.
80-pound pool noodle.
That was terrible looking.
I don't like that they switched it to the biking because my legs were burnt out already. So as soon as I touched that bike, I was like, "Oh God!" Like I really wanted to just do the whole back and forth run that we were supposed to do.
Yeah. Okay, so wait, Rolo. So in terms of like how, like I don't know, I imagine like someone who does this, full time, like I think you do, right? Like content stuff.
Yeah, content overall for sure.
You're like looking at your numbers, you're trying to figure out like, like what resonates with people and so on and so forth. It's like it's an important part of your job, right? How does the adaptive content do in terms of numbers, comments, engagement? I don't know, that stuff.
Yeah, there's obviously videos that do good and videos that don't perform as well, but I don't think that has anything to do with being adaptive or not. Adaptive, I think it's just my knowledge of content creation. I mean, if some dude eating hot dogs all week can get 1 million views, then obviously I just need to structure my videos differently and bring different videos forward to get them views. And I think that's, just because you have a good story, if it's not presented well, it's not going to get views anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been the challenge. So like my last video I did with the drag rope, it took me like a week to edit, and I chatted with a good friend of mine who he makes content not within the CrossFit community. And, he gave me a lot of feedback on like, here's where your hook should be. This is the story that you should be telling. This is how it gets there. This is, there's so much more to it. It's not just about, having someone sit in front of the camera and tell an interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's been the challenge. It's not what content does well, it's how you present it. And then, the title and the thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need to get better at presenting the content in a way that is interesting for people to engage with. But I think overall adaptive athlete content does less well, but not because it's adaptive athletes. It's because adaptive athletes are less known.
Okay.
Like again, sure. if the thumbnail has, Rich Froning in it, okay, people know who Rich Froning is, so they're going to click on it. But that doesn't mean an adaptive athlete can't get that popular. It's just what work are they willing to put in to get themselves known?
Mm-hmm. And how much attention are they spending to the crafting of that story, I guess, around who they are, is kind of what I'm hearing.
I'm not certain about that, but I know that, some athletes, even, like games athletes, they don't really post much. So they're known because they got to the CrossFit Games and that has a lot of eyes on it. But they don't really do a good job posting. We could get adaptive athletes that even they go to the adaptive CrossFit Games. Yes, the eyes aren't as popular as the regular games, but they could be getting content that is getting a lot of views.
Sure.
Does that make sense? So they could be getting themselves more popular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, sorry, Kerry.
I think that's gonna. Well, I think that'll help though, since Wheel Wad and the games converted together. I think it's gonna get the name out there even more.
Absolutely.
Help with that.
Yeah, I think so. And I keep telling everybody this in the adaptive community, it starts with us, right? It starts with the adaptive athletes liking other adaptive athletes' content. So why would anybody go like it if like you're not even liking it? So every time CrossFit posts a video of one of the adaptive athletes, there needs to be 250 comments of every single adaptive athlete who competed at the CrossFit Games commenting on it and building that person up, because that's the only way it's going to start getting views. It's not just going to magically get views. And then business is eyes, right? It's right. Take emotion out of it. Like, oh, why don't businesses sponsor this? Okay, well, they need to make money. So how do we get known? So can you imagine if right now this podcast had 300 viewers, all adaptive athletes, all asking questions, all pumping it up, all hyping it up? Things would happen a lot faster, but it's hard. It's not easy to make that happen because it also
it'll turn into that. And I mean, I think I love this. I love coming on here and talking to you guys every weekend. It helps with my anxiety. It helps with a lot of my stuff. So I hope we keep doing this, and I know it's going to get bigger.
For sure.
Yeah. Hey, Rolo, what do you have opinions here? You know, what I've seen is that a lot of people aren't impressed by adaptive athletes because most people cannot relate to them.
Yeah, maybe impress is the wrong word. Maybe it's more of like they can't relate. You know, they don't know. So somebody in the gym can watch, you know, Matt Frazier do 21-15-9 unbroken thrusters and muscle ups, and they know what that feels like. They're like, holy crap. But it's hard for them to go, okay, this person's doing, you know, dumbbell snatch with one arm and in a wheelchair or whatever. I can't relate to Matt Frazier either. But that was the point of trying to get games athletes doing workouts as adaptive athletes. Right. You know, having these high level athletes do the workouts so people can understand how impressive what is going on actually is. So I think it's all about education, but again, like showing all this stuff. I just imagine every heat had a games athlete in it too, and the games athlete didn't know what division they're going to be doing wheel wad in. So they just show up to wheel wad, and it's like Colt Mertens in a wheelchair for the whole event. And he's getting smoked by Tom Miazga. You know, they'd be like, all right, that's crazy.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, right.
So I mean, I think that's what we should like try to pump up this Kill the Night challenge, and even like I'll try and do it with one arm, but to have people who aren't adaptive do those, and you know, pick an arm, post your score against freaking you, Vic, and Tyler, and we'll be like plus 5 minutes.
I think that would be cool. It just has to be. It has to be done in a way that garners attention, and that's the challenge.
And I think doing it so often, trying to do it every weekend is too much. I think we need to space it out like once a month. We can build the hype up for it, get people to donate stuff so we can
donate prizes.
Give prizes to either the winner or the person that we think deserves it the most.
So Vic.
for me, Brian, or Vic, but it would just be for anyone else.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta jump off, y'all. Have a good one.
Okay, see you, Danny.
Later,
Danny.
Yeah, just like a charity case for Vic. Like, hey, we'll just send him whatever he needs. The best one I did with Josh.
Yeah, we had Brett Palmer hang out with Josh Bridges in his epic his garage. All the feels, all the throwback feels, and Josh did the entire workout in a wheelchair.
Dang, that's awesome.
And again, that's the thing. The fact that you guys haven't seen that video is that's like, how do we get that video out to more adaptive athletes?
Right.
Because again, if the adaptive athletes thinks it's cool, then they share it with their mom, they share it with their dad, their grandma. And then the ball could potentially get rolling. But you know, how do we get it out there?
Yeah.
How do I make it better so that it's not even you guys? It's like everybody's seen it, you know.
Right. So. Like, and I've seen the whole thing, you know. Like I remember exactly when X, Y, and Z happened, and I can tell people about it and tell my friends and share it and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I like that. I think it was a Instagram space that you created a little while ago to kind of share out stuff. Hey, you know, let's get everyone eyes on this. This is cool.
Yep. It's my broadcast channel. Yeah. It's my broadcast channel on Meme for Time. And since I started focusing on adaptive athletes, I've lost 400 people on my broadcast channel.
Really?
Crazy. Yep.
Why do you think that is?
There's people who aren't interested. Just
haters.
Haters, or they're just like, I don't want to see this.
That's gross. He has one arm.
I think they get more mad that we can lift more than them.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on with Vic. Hey, Tower, do you want to text him, see if he's going to join us, or he's too much of a I don't know. This is a family show. This is a family show. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're kind of like covering this, but I was going to ask, kind of like, what's the? I mean, I don't know. What do you think is like? I guess if we were like charting out milestones for like what's next, Like what would be your, I guess one milestone we could think of is like, okay, adaptive CrossFit Games kind of stand alone. We have our own venue, our own spotlight. We have divisions for a more inclusive group, or whatever, right? Something like that, which I think happened, right? I think this year, I think people were working for that, and then it happened. So I think, okay, we made it to a milestone, I would say, right? At least that's the impression that I got from being at the games, from hearing guys like Kevin talk, guys like Victor talk, who's been around for a bit, right? What do you think is the next thing? Like where do we head? Like, okay, like what's our next level up?
Yeah, I think the next level is getting bigger sponsors or more sponsorships. Okay. And having just more opportunities for all the athletes there. I think it's going to happen. I mean, the viewership on the live for WheelWOD was like 10 times what it was last year. And again, eyes equals money. Like, it's just marketing. Businesses aren't going to put their name on something that, regardless of how good it is, they have to make money or it has to benefit them somehow. So I think that was huge. I think that more people are, like WheelWOD got 30,000 views live. I wouldn't mind having my banner up or, putting this up there. So I think more money getting into it so that we can have more volunteers, so we can have people managing, so we can have 2 floors, so there can be more workouts. I think those are some of the things that will be happening. And I think those will be big milestones, big time.
I think it's like a huge milestone just for 1 Point Contact to have a full roster this year. Because I remember Steven was telling me that sometimes they show up and there's only like 3 or 4 people with 1 Point Contact that are even there. So the fact that we were able to fill all 10 of our spots was just incredible on its own.
Yeah, like I said, last year it was most of the divisions didn't seem filled at all. But it's expensive, and it's expensive. It's got to be worth it. So I think the games merging with WheelWOD has made it easier for people. They don't have to choose now, right? They don't have to come to the US 2 times. It's 1 time they got to get to the US and everybody's going to be there. Here's Sean. Sean's here. Mr. Eberly, we were talking about you. I'm going to be chatting with him live tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Cool. What time?
Hit that notification bell. I don't know. I need to look at the DM that I sent him.
Okay. Shout it out.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. 30K views, I think, was for the live from Brett.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, my parents loved watching the live stream. They thought it was so cool.
It is cool. And if we put more education in between what's going on and some graphics up there, like what the heck is the person doing? Who is this? Like, what does 1 point of contact mean?
Right.
What does 2 point of contact mean? What is ID? Like, what are these athletes doing? I think that will even increase viewership even more because people can be engaged the entire time. If it's 1 point of contact, they could even share stories of some of the athletes. It's like Victor was in a motorcycle accident, lost, feeling and stuff of his arm, went to volunteer amputation. They'd be like, oh, okay, that's what this means. And then, Brian Knight, and, going through each of the, I think that'd be sweet. But they need more volunteers and more people to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't even realize that we had a 2 point contact in our division.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, oh, we are able to use this arm like in a division. I didn't know that.
It was confusing when during the open, I wasn't sure which one I was going to go in for a long time. Because I can use my right arm for some things, right?
You don't use how's your shoulder though?
I mean, not great. I can't really go overhead at all.
Okay, so then I would stay in 1 point.
Yeah,
but
no,
you have to learn how to you have to learn how to only use the 1 point though, because you still train with both of your arms.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the differentiating thing, it seemed like, just looking back on it, was like bar muscle ups. 2 point guys can do a bar muscle up.
You guys see Sean's comment? That's amazing.
Which one?
I said, how to explain where my other half went?
Is that the?
He's 310.
Yeah. Okay.
That's amazing.
310. And so I think that is. Oh no, I was gonna say that's half my height, but it's not quite. He's a little bit taller.
Yeah.
I'm 6'2", so it'd be whatever 3'1".
Nuts.
That's crazy. Okay, so he says also. Sean says.
Okay,
5:30
tomorrow.
Eastern. Yeah, tomorrow 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. I want to say question mark. That's awesome.
You kind of back to like when you're talking about where you want to see this, get built. I want to see more local comps have adaptiveness. I want to compete more, but I also don't want to go into a local comp and have to scale it, and then accidentally win, and then hear someone complain that I won because I scaled. Like I don't want to deal with all that. Like I want more adaptive competitions, and besides competing once a year at the games, basically, I mean, you got Sea Dogs. At least Sea Dogs does a really good job on theirs.
Yeah, I think the challenge is money, putting it on and organizing it, because it's not so clear cut unless you can just take the rules that they have at Wheelwad, managing each athlete and what division they're going to be in, and then having enough people sign up, right? If you have a competition for adaptive and it's like 4 people sign up for adaptive, it's like, okay, how are we going to do this? There's one dude in a wheelchair, one short stature, one point of contact, and one dude with no legs. Like, how do we make this happen? So in my head, what makes the most sense is we need to just get the name out there to other adaptive athletes who aren't doing CrossFit yet, so that they know that they can do CrossFit, so that now every gym has 2, 3, 4 adaptive athletes doing CrossFit.
Yeah. I think that's kind of been personally one of the big motivations for me. It was like, I want there to be another guy out there who sees me and is like, oh, I can figure it out.
Exactly.
And like, if he's like way fitter than me, I don't care if he fucking takes my spot. Like, good.
Yeah.
Bring it on, dude. Like,
absolutely.
I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more people next year.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be I feel like next year is going to be so difficult to stay on top, and I hope it is. Like I have a feeling there's going to be some.
I also hope they keep the open within the normal leaderboard and not on Competition Corner. I thought that was a pretty whack. I don't know why I didn't ask why, so I can't sit here and be like, that was a stupid decision, because I don't understand why they did it. But it sucks from like the standpoint on, like, I want to see what you guys got. I want to see the workouts that you're doing, and having to go somewhere else instead of the leaderboard that I'm already on was a little frustrating.
I don't even think CrossFitGames.com had a link to the leaderboard. I might be mistaken about that.
I'm not sure about that.
But there's other. Anyways, yeah, I totally agree. That's pretty whack, actually. Were the other divisions on the main website, or
like teens and masters?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I didn't look. I just know that you guys had to go sign up through Competition Corner. And I was like, I don't understand.
I remember looking at we had a guy in my gym that went to the Masters. I was watching his score on Competition Corner, so I think it was Competition Corner.
Okay. My personal experience is that local comps is understanding logistics. Wheelwad does logistics amazingly. They have 3 short stature weights in the same heat. I think I've heard that too again about, and I think did Kevin Hogarth say this, Rolo, on your podcast? I think it was about how, like, Wadapalooza, there's no divisions this year because Wheelwad is overextended. I mean, they don't want to have to. I mean, it's a lot of work, but Wheelwad does it right. And so if there's something they have figured out about those logistics.
What I heard from Kevin was essentially somebody from CrossFit came in and they were like, hey, why do you do it like this? And why do you do this? And why do you do that? And then they realized that there was only 7 people running this entire Wheelwad competition. They're like, oh, holy shit. Like, you guys manage way more people than we did, and we have more than twice as many people as you guys. So pretty much, you're amazing. Like, bow down. Please teach us how to do this.
Okay. Is there some of that learning going on right now? Do you know? Or
I mean, Wheelwatt is the one who had it straight. They're like the games manages 40 athletes. You guys managed 200 plus, and you did it with less people. How did you do that?
Yeah.
I think the goal for Wheelwatt is to get more people on board with, like that close, the not just volunteers, but the people who are literally working to make Wheelwatt happen.
Gotcha. Do they have a full-time staff?
I don't know if they're technically full-time. From what I know is that they're part-time, but they work twice as much as full-time to make it happen. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing. No, I think that was a big revelation when I heard stuff like this. I think that's a big story. Like that's amazing. That's impressive. Yeah. What's up, Rolo? Yo, it's
Anthony Monaco. Good dude. He's got Frederick's ataxia. I don't know if you guys met him at the games.
I don't think so.
He's hilarious. You should meet him next year.
Okay.
All these people are good people. Sean, Brett.
Yeah, Andrew, we got Aaron. We got some good. Yeah, we got some good guys in here.
Yeah, Aaron, I think, is seeing if he potentially will be an adaptive athlete. He was in a motorcycle accident, so.
Yeah. I've been talking to Aaron about some of that stuff.
Yeah, I started the GoFundMe. He texted me one time. I was like literally at the gym stretching, and he's like, "Hey, I almost died a few days ago." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I was in a motorcycle accident." I'm like, "What are you talking about, dude?" And he sends me a picture of his helmet and all that stuff. I was like, "What are you talking about?" It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I was kind of going through some of that 1 point versus 2 point stuff that, I guess, to be honest, I have still sometimes like a little bit of a fuzzy understanding of. But I mean, my suggestion based on what I've seen from Aaron's functionality that, of his arm was he would probably go into the 2 points is my
Can he move it at all?
Yes. But Aaron doesn't.
Is there muscle loss?
I don't know. Aaron, chime in. I think he has some like grip and pulling. So I've seen some pretty cool power cleans where he's holding on to both arms. And the other reason that I've been saying this is that some of the stuff that I've seen from him reminds me of how Josue Maldonado moves. Who was on last week?
He's got Herb's palsy, right?
He's Herb's 2 points. So
yeah, he's strong as an ox,
and he's strong as hell. Yeah, so
maybe between 325 or something like that.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
He's ridiculous, crazy man. But okay, so let's see. We got muscle loss in deltoid and bicep.
Oh, that's very similar to mine.
Is that similar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have any function in my bicep or my deltoid, so I had a brachial plexus to my bicep. I had a brachial plexus injury to my deltoid, which is overstretching of the arm. So your brachial plexus is in there. You do that, it basically shuts off wherever the injury's at. So it shut off my deltoid, and then my bicep, I ripped the nerve in half. So they end up trying to pull a nerve from my back and putting it in my bicep, but it didn't end up working. So I don't have any function in my bicep or my shoulder. But I do have hand movement, so that's why I haven't cut my arm off yet, because I can do this.
Gotcha.
I don't know how bad Aaron's is. I don't know if he just had the nerve shut off completely or what's realistically going on, but
yeah. I think it's less of a severe nerve.
Okay.
Just from looking at it and seeing other guys with brachial plexus injuries. Let's see. I can't do snatches at the moment. I can do cleans. Okay, yeah. But just because of how the hips. Yeah, he's got a great hip extension. Yeah.
Does he work out 1 point contact at all, or does he do both?
I think I've seen one thing where Aaron's doing 1 point, but I think that's kind of what he's referring to. He can't do snatches with 2 points, so he has to kind of get the bar in the middle with the snatch like we would.
Yeah, so that is. I guess I see what you're saying about where they draw the line on the 2 point for that, because, in my opinion, I think you should be in 2 point if you're having nerve damage in your arm. But if you have function in it, you definitely don't want to do 1 point. But it depends on where the function is on the arm.
Right.
If you have it on your shoulder, then you definitely want to do 2 point. But if you don't have it on your shoulder, then you want to do 1 point. It's kind of where I'm at.
I kind of agree with that. Yeah, like if your amputee is, if your amputation is at the elbow or lower, it's like you're probably, well, no, that's not true. Anyways, Sean says I was late burpee punishment. What's the next text challenge? Oh, sorry, yeah, Sean. So this is a little bit of an outdated graphic here. We're trying to do this thing where our logistics has not been the greatest, or communication about it yet has not been the greatest. But basically, we're thinking of doing this sort of weekly or monthly adaptive CrossFit challenge online, where we do kind of a difficult workout, probably using 1 point of contact, or in our kind of upper extremity division kind of vibes. So like last time we did one that had a mono rope, which is using one arm, double unders, and then using one arm for dumbbell thrusters at 70 pounds, and it was kind of a brutal workout. But one idea that we had was to kind of have it live during the show, during like during the podcast, which we might have to kind of pivot to doing it not every week. I don't think I don't have the bandwidth. I work full time and am training full time as well. So
yeah, doing it once a week is too hard to build it up. Definitely.
Yeah,
I think once a month would be sick. And we got to create like more of a ground rule though for like the adaptive athletes. I think if the adaptive athletes do it, they adapt it how they think fits
right
for them, because we know how to adapt our workouts. But I think anyone who's non-adaptive has to try it our way.
That's one of those things where we need to get Wheelwad's expertise in here. Because we're so used to like taking the WOD from our gym and saying, okay, what do I need to do for to reach the same stimulus that's intended with this workout?
But my way is different, because I hit, like, whenever I go and do a class, I just do the scaled weight, or the women's scaled weight seems to be pretty accurate to what we use for the most part. Sometimes it's a little heavy, but I'd rather train heavy than light.
Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to follow what's going on here. I don't know. You're supposed to get benefit value by your PT. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. So Rolo, we only have like 10 more minutes with you. You gotta jump here in a few minutes. But what? I don't know. I guess what would you kind of like to leave us with, or kind of thoughts or impressions that you have, ideas?
Yeah. Ideas is post more content on what you're going through. I think people think that content needs to be highly edited, professional, blah, 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 all this stuff, right? But most of us, half the stuff that you guys said at the beginning of the show, nobody even knows what you're talking about unless they're an adaptive athlete. Or so like explaining exactly what you're going through, how it feels, what you're doing, as if you're speaking to somebody else with your same injury, but also somebody who doesn't know what's going on. Because then people can kind of follow your journey on Instagram, YouTube, whatever it might be. And that goes for all the adaptive athletes, because everybody goes through things that you're not really sure. Maybe other people do, maybe other people don't. But I think seeking out other adaptive athletes that are going through the similar things that you are, showing them what you do in the gym. What's his name? He's very, very handsome. Seated one, blonde guy. Why am I forgetting his name? Brett, help me out here. Brandon Mance. He is doing a good job. He's showing his workouts. He's doing different angles and just kind of talking. Like he also has some voiceovers talking about what it feels like, what he's going through.
Okay.
And I think that's huge. And I think everybody should be doing that so we can get more adaptive athletes competing. And yeah.
Let's see. So let me see if I can find that guy.
Brandon Mance.
Let's see. Share screen.
I like what he's been doing lately on putting the content out. Good dude.
Let's see.
I know Brett's been doing a little bit more as well.
Let's see. Oh, I don't think I'm following him.
I don't follow him either. That's my biggest problem. I don't social media that much.
Yeah, and that's the challenge, right? That's where there's so many people. Unless you're going out in public and trying to find more adaptive athletes, it's kind of like where else do you find these people?
Like I would like to, and I try to post content, but I'm like, I work 45, 50 hours a week every single day, or after that, and I go to the gym for 3 hours every single day. I don't have time to do that, and I come home, and as soon as I get home, it's cooking dinner and hanging out with the kids for the little bit of time I have.
Yeah.
So you Brian, have to keep posting stuff because it helps.
You got to find a way that like it's sustainable too. Yeah, like I told you this too, Tyler. Like I don't want your wife mad at me because she's here. Because you're here. You know what I mean? Hanging out with.
She don't mind because this is a time she goes to the gym, so she just dropped the kids off.
Nice. Yeah. And the other thing, I've been trying to do something too, which is like this sort of like Adaptawad series on Instagram, and part of it is like I'm trying to post that stuff in a way that is what's the word I'm looking for? It's getting late, I guess. I'm trying to post it in a way that's sustainable, in a way that's kind of fits in with my life, you know? Like I go to the gym, I do the workout, I figure out what I'm going to do kind of then and there. And then I spend like 30, 45 minutes like throwing this thing together with a template that I have and just trying to explain what's going through my head when I look at a workout or something like that. Right. So, yeah, I mean,
I like the idea of the adaptive log, and I think you're doing good on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, and I'm also thinking about it from this perspective. I don't know, Rolo, too, if you have your opinion on this, but like, I'm thinking about it from the perspective of like, okay, I'm even thinking about someone who, you know, might be intimidated by CrossFit, who's kind of like, maybe they're overweight, maybe they don't have like, they're kind of think it's scary, right? Okay, like, dude, there's this guy with one arm who's doing it. Like, I can do that too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it shouldn't. Your whole goal in life isn't social media. You guys have full-time jobs and stuff, so you want to make it the most sustainable possible. But you'd be surprised what people are interested in knowing. They want to know about your day. They want to know about what you're doing. They want to know about how your workout is in the gym. So even if you get a few clips of you at the gym, not doing anything different, you know, just doing you're doing normal stuff. You know, getting ready with one arm. Yeah. You can just post that. Like it doesn't have to be extra special edited. It's just to get a quick, you making dinner with one arm. You're like, this is how I make dinner with one arm. You know, it doesn't have to be crazy because then those people who are like, oh, this guy does it with one arm, they can probably do it too.
Yeah, Brian, what we need to do is do like videos of how to do certain lifts. Because like for me, learning rope climbing was the hardest thing I had to do. And I just couldn't figure out how to do my feet and how to grab and the center of gravity. So I would look at Vic and this other dude, Jeremy. I would look at their videos that they posted, but it wasn't how to do it. It was just a random video of a competition that they're in. And I'd like zoom in and watch them how to see how they did it. And I was like, we just need to create this content.
That'd be awesome. I talked to Henry. You guys know Henry? His arm got smashed by something that pushes holes into the earth in Australia.
Is he 2-point? Or
I don't know if he's 2-point or I think he is 2-point, but okay. I asked him like how he figured out how to use the strap and how'd you learn how to pick bars off the ground and do muscle ups. And he's like, well, I had to ask. So I think there definitely is a audience for that on how to do it for the people within your division.
Yeah. I was gonna look at this post that Victor posted the other day. This was the first Kill the Night challenge kind of video. Tyler, like for example, like he literally just put the camera on the ground and just started filming himself doing double unders.
Yeah,
and that's literally all it is.
57,000 people liked it.
And this thing went crazy.
Yeah, I got 77. I wake up every day with a new like on my comment, and I don't. It's so annoying.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know how many views it
Well,
has.
it's good. Those are people that potentially will come and join CrossFit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This 901,000 views right now.
It's awesome.
Yeah. But anyways, I think to your point, Rolo, like the dude like put a camera down, filmed for like 60 seconds, and like
there's a million people that now know about this dude who does one arm workouts.
Exactly. Like I think that's
there's got to be at least one person in there who's inspired to go try CrossFit.
Yeah. Like I think there's someone who said and the comment was like in Portuguese or something, so I translated it, but it was like there's someone in my gym who has one arm. Like, where did you get this jump rope?
Exactly.
You know, like RX Smart.
And I will, like you were asking earlier, like, does the content do good or bad? Obviously, the market is a little bit smaller for people with one arm, right, than people with two arms. So you can't always expect the videos to crush it. But just know that maybe it only gets 100 views, but a few of those people are other people with one arm getting value from what you're posting.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say I also I can't remember if I shared this story with Victor or someone else. When my first exposure to CrossFit was a friend of mine who was doing CrossFit at the time, and he and I went to work out. I was working at a school at the time. He and I would go in the morning to work out at the school gym because he was a coworker there at the school. And I was like, dude, there's no way I can grab a barbell with one arm. I was watching him clean or something like that. I was like, I can't do that, dude. And he was like, look at this thing on Instagram I saw. And it was Victor. This was like 5, 6, 7 years ago at this point. And I was like, oh, dude, I can do that.
Boom. Look at that.
Boom. And here we are. And here we are. Here we are with
one arm.
Sending stupid text messages to the same dude.
It works. It works. Social media works. I shared with you guys in the private chat the link to, I made a video. It talks about Henry. I tried to do 500 mono rope double unders. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I saw that one.
Yeah.
Are your calves better yet?
No.
Oh shit.
No, I definitely pulled my calf worse than I thought I did.
Oh, no.
But we're still able to fitness. So that's all
okay,
good.
Yeah. You don't need your calf for all your fitness.
Most of it's all right. So once we're better, though, we're gonna have to try again.
Yeah. You know what I saw people doing that helped, because there are people that at the Equip products booth at the games who were trying to figure it out, and the thing that I saw was helping was like they grab it with both arms in the middle, or was it both arms? I can't remember if it was towards the middle, or they're grabbing the thing with two arms. And it kind of like gave them more of a sense of balance for like where it should be in relation to their body.
Yeah.
So that and I thought it looked like that was helpful for them as like an intermediary step to kind of get up to the. Because I think half the battle with the mono rope is knowing how far out, and how high you need to hold it and everything, Yeah,
just finding that center of gravity is, once you learn that center of gravity on it, it becomes really easy. It almost kind of just floats there on its own.
Yeah. Well, I never found it, if you're wondering.
Yeah. Well, it takes a while to get it.
Next time.
Yeah. So Danny, the guy that was on here earlier, he's my coach. We do Saturday WODs together, which is partner WODs. And we always, if we have jump roping, always make them use the mono rope when we partner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean, I'll let them do singles instead of doubles, but it's always fun to watch.
I like how you say, I let him. He has my permission.
You're using my rope. It's what I say.
Yeah, using my rope, my rules.
Did you ever get one of the heavy ropes?
Me?
Yeah.
Did
you end up getting it back from the hotel that you left it at?
No, I didn't. Rolo, so and did you see those giant, like, ridiculous ropes that Equip Products made?
Sure did.
Yeah, so those guys, Tyler wanted to buy one, and he convinced me to buy one as well. And then when I got home to my, or whatever, not home, to my, back to my apartment, or back to my hotel, I realized that this does not fit in my bag at all.
Oh man.
And so I chickened out, and I should have done what Tyler did, which is take it to the airport anyways.
I put it in a trash bag.
Put it in a trash bag, tape it up, and say, okay, this is a carry-on, or this is a checked bag now.
Yeah.
Especially because
you just left the whole rope there, huh?
So I just left it. Yeah. So, and then I reached out to the hotel. They're like, hey, we have the service that will, send it back to you. But they said, oh, we haven't found it.
Awesome.
So somewhere out there, someone's
you missed out.
Mono roping.
I guarantee it's in the garbage somewhere.
You can still buy them though. They still have some of the used ones on a quick product.
Yeah, I think I saw it on the website. Yeah. Rolo, I like to think that someone is learning to be an adaptive athlete with it.
That would be amazing. Some random hotel worker.
Yeah. They're like, oh, thank God I saw this on the CrossFit Games website.
Yeah, I saw those crazy guys doing crazy stuff over there at the not the fairgrounds, whatever the hotel. Yeah. I'm gonna go try this now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I kept thinking, like, during the games, like, people were walking around that didn't know what was going on. Like, why is there so many adaptive people?
100%. They were
like, what the
hell is going on?
Did you have any interactions with people like that were outside of the games?
No, but I guarantee they wondered why is there 20 people in wheelchairs in this place?
Yeah.
I've never seen so many.
I had an interesting reaction with someone that she was my, what's it called, the Instacart delivery person, and I was talking about her on my story when I was kind of giving people back home updates. Her name was Maria. Everyone thought this was like a love connection or some kind of romantic. She was like, "Oh, when's your event? Like, I'm gonna come to the games." Long story short, like we just like, I was just very friendly with her, and she was like my mom's age, so it was like not at all what people thought it was. But yeah, it seemed like just kind of people were like, "What's going on? Like, what's adaptive CrossFit Games?
Yeah, what does this even mean?
What does this mean?" Yeah, and there were a couple people like Uber drivers and stuff like that. They're like, I might come by and stop. I might come check this out. This is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, anyways. Looks like there's some back and forth here between Brett and Sean that I have not followed.
It's some stuff that they had chatted on my
okay.
My podcast.
Context. Nice.
Did I miss the part? All right, I might have missed this, but what made you start wanting to do content with adaptive?
Yeah, going to the adaptive games in 23. I was
like, why did you go to that?
Interesting as heck, because I was Brett's wheelman.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Wheelman meaning like you're giving the support to the
people holding the wheelchairs.
Pushing
them. You're holding on the wheelchairs and getting sweat on all over you.
Brett Sweat. You guys got to know each other pretty well. It was a pretty intimate relationship.
Very well.
Yeah.
Very close.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, okay, I'm just going to ask this question, Rolo, because I know Victor would ask it if he was here.
Yeah.
Are you coming to Sea Dogs?
I don't. When is Sea Dogs? I don't remember when it was.
April 5th.
April?
Yeah.
I mean, if I can make it happen financially, I definitely will. I'm looking to try to find some sponsors that will help, with the podcast and help me get out to any of the adaptive competitions.
Yeah.
Bankrolling everything on my own for the last year has been a challenge.
Yeah.
So that's the goal. If I can make it happen, I absolutely have no issues going. I would love to.
How's that been going, trying to find, business relationships with people to make that happen?
Yeah, it's always a challenge. But I haven't really put my foot down just yet. I'm going to Rogue. So once I get back from Rogue, I'll have some time to breathe. Okay. So I've been traveling a lot lately.
Yeah. Where? Yeah, I think I saw something about. Where have you been? What's been going on?
I was in Tennessee for the Paper Street Coffee grand
Oh, that's
opening.
right.
Yeah, so I was out in Tennessee, and then I was at the Wheelwad games. I was at the games. I was at the semifinals. So lots of travel. Trying to got to make sure I stay home with the fam enough and get my work done, and then go and work at the competitions as well.
Yeah, it's draining. I think I had my first work trip ever in July. Was it July? And you think it's going to be, I mean, in a way it is. It's very fun. You're like, oh, I'm kind of important. I get to use the company card, get my airfare and buy the Uber and everything. But at the same time, it's also, man, it's so exhausting. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah, getting off the groove and still finding time to do fitness and not eat like garbage is pretty challenging.
Yeah, exactly.
Worth it.
Yeah. But it looked like you got some good fitness in when you're over there in Tennessee.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
there's a lot of fit people out there.
Shout out to P Dog. Yeah, my friend Paulina. I followed her around and did all of her fitness with her.
Nice. So is Paper Street Coffee? Are they at the affiliate? What is it?
They're inside Proven.
They're inside Proven. Okay.
Yeah, you have to walk through Paper Street Coffee to get into the gym.
Oh, interesting. How's that? And Paper Street Coffee was at the games too, right? I don't think
not this year. They were last year.
Oh, okay. I don't think I thought I saw some posts from them like at the adaptive games, but I wasn't.
Yeah, that was me and my sister. Me and my sister brought some coffee for some of the adaptive athletes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Gotta represent everywhere we go.
You guys got that's cool. I was going to say that sounds like the brands that are friendly to I shouldn't say friendly, that are kind of more excited about adaptive CrossFit is something. It seems like there's a few brands that are more excited or interested in adaptive CrossFit stuff more than others.
Yeah.
I would say. And Paper Street Coffee gives me that vibe of interest.
That's good. I'm part of Paper Street Coffee, so I keep telling them, hey, let's get to the adaptive games. That's the goal for next year.
Okay. All right, we're gonna make it happen. I'm sure you'll make it happen. It's gonna
absolutely
100%. Hey, so yeah, I know you have. I don't know if you have to dip. I don't want to keep you past.
Yeah, I should get out of here. Wifey, it's time for wifey get to work, so I want to make sure I see her a little before she heads out.
Oh yeah, that's important. Yeah, again, this is the policy with Tyler's wife, with everyone's wife. Everyone's wife / girlfriend has to be a fan of the show.
Yeah, happy wife, happy life.
Happy then that way we get to see you more.
Exactly. I appreciate you guys having me on here. Thanks for being here. And we're gonna keep putting out content. We're talking to Sean tomorrow, so make sure you guys come support some adaptive athletes.
Let's do it.
I love it. Invite your mom and your dad and your grandma. All right.
Yep.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Later. Okay.
See you all. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, you gotta give me a heads up on who's coming and who's not coming.
Were you not expecting an internet celebrity?
I had to research. It's a cool dude though.
Oh yeah.
I like it. Now that I follow him too, I was looking at some of his content.
Yeah.
He has the right idea though. Like we need to definitely start putting more out there, and I want to do the videos of how to do certain lifts. I think that's super important, especially with being 1-point contact, we have to manipulate our body in such a different way.
Yeah. I think he's told Rolo is 100% right though on this, which is how you do your movement is, and I think you kind of would agree with this based on what you said about looking at that video of that one dude doing that thing. I forget who you said it was, but it was basically just like it's camera on the ground. Let me do a snatch.
Yes,
like that is a how-to video.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't.
Yeah, I got a few of them on my Instagram, but it's not. That's because that's just how I film too, and I wish when I go back and look at them, I'm like, why didn't I just break down on how I do this? Because someone out there wants to know.
Yeah,
needs to know. It's like, oh, why can't I? What's going on with my footwork, or why is the the rope flinging out. You know, a lot of that stuff I've learned over the last year and still struggling with trying to fix.
Yeah, I mean, so I agree. You know, the raw stuff hits way more than the edited. I mean, you could like your first, like I don't know if you have video of your first time snatching or something, right? That might be like
that video of me of me squatting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Today. So I have the next video. I'll send it later, but I have another video of me doing my first time doing a snatch, and it's with 75 pounds. And that was when I was the first time like working out at EOS after my accident. And I was like, I thought it was like the most weight. I was like, this is so sick. I'm going to be so good at this. Like before I even knew it, like realistically before I was thinking about CrossFit. So that helped me a lot with my injury too, though. But it's good to see all the progress that I've made though, when you look back at those videos.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. I think that progress, like I'm just looking back at some of the stuff that I've posted in the last couple months. It seems like a lot of the videos that have seemed to hit were like, to Sean's point, this kind of raw, like here's the first time I did something and here's the most recent time I did something, like that, the learning how to do double unders. Like I have a lot of videos of me trying to do double unders and I'm like, okay, well, how do I learn how to do double unders? Well, can I do a single under? Okay, let me figure out how to do single unders, Gotta go. All right. Yeah. See, Aaron. Yeah. Great to see you. Yeah. Let's touch base soon too. We'll see you at the next time. We'll see you next time.
Do we have any idea who is going to be on next time?
Oh, yes, we do actually. Next week we have the third fittest. Was she third? Emily. Next week we will have Emily Avery, who is, I believe, the third fittest one-armed female in the world, and this year of 2024. And so she's awesome. She's super friendly. I think I had an awesome interaction with her.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. I was just sitting there in the stands and she just kind of like walks up next to me. It's like, hey, I'm Emily. And we just had this awesome conversation. It's just like, cool.
That's dope.
She's super cool. So I'm looking forward to that one. that's another cool conversation. So that'll be next Friday.
I gotta start following people. I'm so bad at this.
Yeah. I think this is the link to Rolo's conversation with Sean tomorrow. If I put this in the chat. Let's see. Let me see if that's what it is. I just saw that. Oh no, this is the Tyler. Excuse me, Tyler. You do have to see this video though from that Rolo made. Okay. It's very funny.
Is it the one you just put on there? Oh, you're doing it now. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't hear it though.
Anyways, yeah, this was funny. Hiller picked it up a couple weeks ago as well. I forget what he said about it. Anyways, Hiller was a big. Have you seen any videos from Hiller, from Andrew Hiller on?
Yeah, I watched him because he was posting the most about most about laser.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he watched this video. I can't remember. I wish I remembered what he said, but it was like a big fan. I think he's a big fan of Rolo. I think. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, I thought that was fun.
I'm trying to watch that video real quick.
Okay.
9 minutes long. We're not gonna sit here while I watch this.
No, that's the thing. It's a long video. I think
when you get smacked the first time, it hurts so bad. Okay, I'm gonna watch this later.
He pulled his calf pretty bad.
Ugh.
So
good.
Yeah. Which is sort of surprising to me for someone who like does double unders. Like you have that. It's like not like you've never jump roped in your life. Like
it's got to be very similar.
Yeah. He must have been like just very tense or something throughout his whole body. So it's like, I don't know, something was different. Do we know what happened to Vic?
No. He
Is he
never
alive?
messaged back. It's okay.
I
missed a good one though.
He would have been making fun of I don't know.
Everyone? Yes.
Everyone? Just rip. Cool. Well, how was Halloween, Tyler?
It was good.
Yeah.
I just handed out candy to the wife and the kids went around the block. Apparently there was someone that lives behind us that was giving out hot dogs, which I thought that was very weird. I was also very mad that my wife didn't give me one of the hot dogs because I would have ate the hot dog.
Oh, that's funny.
But we got to do our tradition with getting costumes, riding around the neighborhood on the quads and dirt bikes, which is still always makes me happy that I'm still capable of doing that.
Yeah, totally.
Still ride around a little bit.
Yeah. I was telling someone that I love Halloween. I think it's super fun. As a single person, it's not that fun right now. Well, like, okay, you don't have a.
What are you gonna go do?
What's that?
What are you gonna go do? I mean, you have friends. Go to the bar, I guess.
I guess exactly. What am I gonna do? Go to a bar? Like, go to a Halloween party? Like, a Thursday night? But I was validated in this, which was because I had dinner with someone today who's also single, and he was telling me that he was like, oh, I was like, whoa, what did you do? Connor. He was like, oh, I just doom scrolled on TikTok. I was like, yeah, I'm basically pretty similar over here. But you don't have a girlfriend. Okay, you don't have a couple's costume. You don't have a wife. You don't have a couple's costume. You don't have kids. You're not trick-or-treating. I live in an apartment. I don't have a house.
You're also 30 years old, so it's like
I'm 32.
You're not going to a party. You'd have
I'm
to
not going trick-or-treating. I'm not going to a college party.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
I can see that would be boring. It's so boring. Your gym didn't do anything for Halloween?
Not that I know of. I took yesterday off, so
Yeah. I guess we had a Halloween party for our gym, but it wasn't on Halloween, so I guess that doesn't make sense. But they did a workout. But yeah, I took yesterday off as well.
Yeah. I guess
it's annoying. Training for the games, I would work out every other day. I like my body like that the best. But now, and then like right before the games, I was training every day, and I'm continuing to train every day. And I hate it. I am training way too much. I think I need to try to go back to training every other day and allowing my body to heal because it's just too much.
Yeah. It's kind of like I was telling this to someone too. My experience of being over 30 so far has been not that I have less energy or something right now, or that I am less fit somehow. It's that I can't recover from things as easily. I don't know. Like,
I can see that.
If I don't have that big old day off, I'm wrecked. So, I guess what you mean by day off also can vary, right? So like sometimes, like when I was moving, I was carrying a bunch of shit up, downstairs, like 4 flights of stairs. And okay, in that case, like I took the day off, but I was effectively doing some kind of activity. It's an active day, I guess, as they'd say. It's an active day, not a rest day.
And that's how I am too. I always catch myself like on my days off still working out, whether it's sitting there and stretching for an hour or like doing rubber band work like I'm doing right now and just working on grip, or like I have all these random grip stuff that I just mess around with that I'm always working on. It's just nonstop.
Yeah. What do you do? What are you doing with your rubber band right now? Like are you like just
I do that, and then I have to like rebuild all the muscle in this hand because this hand got wrecked in my accident. Like I had a plate on my hand. I have 2 screws in every single finger. Like I shattered basically every bone in this finger, in his hands. I mean, in his hand. So like I'm constantly just trying to always work it out and strengthen it again. Because I realize like my grip strength isn't the best. Like I feel like I have good forearm strength, but just not in the fingers.
So you're even just holding it kind of like an eccentric movement is like.
So I do that, and then I do to try to work on, because I also have a really bad bend here because of the plate and because of the I have like bone buildup.
Yeah.
Here, so it's hard to bend my wrist. Like that workout that we were supposed to be doing, I wasn't gonna do because it was gonna hurt my wrist regardless. Because anytime I do like push press, it puts way too much pressure on it.
Gotcha.
So I'm always trying to just break that down too.
Yeah. I think Emily asked that question to Vic last week because she was like, "Do you do anything specifically for your grip?"
And I remember hearing that, and that was one of the ones I tried replying to.
Okay. Because he said no.
Yes and no, he does, because when he's doing his hang cleans and hang snatches, and that's still strengthening that's still training for the grip. There's always something you can be doing. Like I've started hanging off of a bar after every day or every workout. I go just to a bar and try to do dead hangs, just so I can learn my weight more and just be more comfortable with my weight with one arm.
Yeah,
because that will help. That will improve your rope climbing as well. Trusting that grip. Yep. I don't trust that grip right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been interesting. I've been trying to do some more dead hangs too, and like you can kind of see my hand's been like just fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Well, put Vaseline on them.
It's like 200 pounds. It's a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
But you must be like around 200 though too, right?
I'm 185.
Okay.
This is the lightest I've weighed since like senior year in high school. Like my body normally, like before my accident, I was a bigger dude, like muscular dude, and I always weighed between 200 to 205 is where I normally sat at, and very comfortably. So it's always so weird. I also have to remind myself that a lot of that weight is because of this arm. But I'm also trying to still lose weight.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe it was the arm, but I would say also too, like I think sometimes the effective, like, how do I put this? I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know if I have enough physiological science knowledge to really back this up, but I feel like your optimal weight is more down there, like 185 or 180. Like,
I think so too. I think 185 is a good weight for me. I think if I can drop down to 180, I think it'd be would be a better weight for cardio wise.
Yeah.
And for hanging wise, because that's my biggest thing is, like hanging at 185, 190 on a bad day, that's a lot of weight in one hand trying to hold on to a bar.
Right. Yeah. One thing that I've found recently from like toes to bar stuff, like work at the gym, has been there's like this ratio of like 1 to 3 sort of thing. I think was it 1 to 3? I found that helpful. But there was one workout where I think there was 18. It was like I don't know. It was like I don't remember what it was. Anyways, there was 18. There's 18 toes to bar. Okay. I remember thinking, "Oh, I'm going to try to half that. I'm going to try to go for 9."
Oh no, that's a bad idea.
And it was a bad idea. It was not the same stimulus. Like I was up there trying to hit 9, and at one point I was like I'm always thinking about when I'm like looking at workouts and comparing myself to, what is a able-bodied athlete and what's the stimulus of the workout. Like one thing that I'm kind of cognizant of is like the time domain. Like how long does it take you to do 18 toes to bar, right? Okay, the equivalent workout for me will take the same amount of time as it takes an able-bodied person to do 18 toes to bar. For me, what it seemed like was 6. It was I could do like 6 toes to bar, with one arm in around the same time as someone with able-bodied does.
So I was doing that math yesterday because we had wall balls yesterday. Not yesterday, sorry, Wednesday. We had wall balls, we had running, and we had wall walks. And I was trying to see like how many wall balls, like if I did one, what was like compared to theirs. It was basically 1.5. So every time I would do one, they would do 1.5. And when we had 4 rounds of 30, that time added up. But then I would just catch up. Then I would have to play catch up on everything else. Like I was having to run a lot faster, and then at least my time got made up on the wall walks because my version of a wall walk is a lot easier than theirs. So it was kind of nice because it kind of equaled it all out.
Sure. Yeah. That's a good example. Yeah, where it kind of like in one place you're a little slower, in another place you're going to be a little bit easier.
Yeah, but then we have to deal with the whole. We're using one arm.
Yeah.
And that shoulder does not like that. It's so much work.
Yeah, totally.
That's why I have to tell myself that a lot of times on the WOD. So I'm like, oh, the weight doesn't seem that bad. But I'm like, well, but then this is a shoulder workout, and this is a shoulder workout, and that's also a shoulder workout. And then you get a little bit of running, so at least you can shake it out there. But then you have to do this for like 25 minutes long using one arm. So like, all right, we're gonna put the volume down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that happened to me today. Like the RX weight was 95 for men and 70 pounds for women. Is that right? And it was like 18, 12, 9 shouldered overhead. And it was at the end of it, I was like, holy shit, that was heavy. Because I went 75 pounds with shouldered overhead on that. And it like every time I hit that like shouldered overhead part of it, it was like just fucking brutal. And I was like, that it's just so heavy. It's like you can't like go at that 80 like. And I bumped it down I went to the kind of like the women's weight, down from the 95 to the 70, and it was still rough. Because there was other stuff going on in the workout too. It wasn't just it was like I don't forget what it was off the top of my head, but anyways.
That's kind of like one thing I'm struggling with right now on training though is trying to figure out. Like I want to start doing more heavy weight again because like before I was actually training for the games, I was doing a lot more heavy weight where I was doing less classes, and I need to go back to that because I want to build the strength again. But I kept also getting hurt, and I don't want to be hurt right now.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find the balance for all that, and it's very difficult. Plus, try to do cardio. I think I'm gonna start waking up every morning and run, just so I can get a good amount of cardio in. Because that's the one thing that you guys killed me on was running. Everyone just murdered me on running.
There's a lot of runners.
Pushed me out at the last second.
Yeah, because Chibu,
yeah,
is a runner. Moises is a runner.
Vix had the injury long enough to learn how to run.
Vix, yeah. Vix
you're a runner. So yeah, and hopefully that, I mean, with me losing weight too, hopefully that helps out because I can't do it.
A lot of weight stuff is diet though too, I think, right? Like
I eat so good though.
Okay.
I eat the same thing almost every day. I eat eggs in the morning. I eat chicken, rice, and a whole lot of veggies for lunch. And dinner is steak and salad. Pretty much every single day.
Yeah. That's nice.
It's really good.
Yeah.
The event that you're doing right now?
Fittest Coast?
Yeah. Are you just doing the scaled version of it, or they have an adaptive?
No, they have a scaled division.
Okay.
So yeah, That's
I don't know. Are they allowing you to scale it in your own way as well?
No. So I went. Well, I didn't ask. And I suppose that could be something that I do. But my take on it was I want to be like that sneaky adaptive athlete who just gets in like the scaled division and it just shows up with one arm and like
that would be so sick.
just fucks shit up.
That'd be dope.
But I don't know. Yeah, so I didn't qualify, and it really came down to. I mean, I don't know. Like I was 100 out of whatever, 600 something, and there were, I think the top 30 they took to the finals. And
did you not have pull-ups?
There was jumping pull-ups in one of the workouts, and there was a one workout that there was only 10 pull-ups. So I don't have those strict pull-ups, but like 10
people that do.
Well, I think Victor does.
From a dead hang?
I think so. I think he was talking.
I'm sure he's done it before.
I think he was talking about doing it. Yeah,
it's still hard though.
It's hard.
I've seen people do it, especially like rock climbers can do it, but
right,
it's insane.
Victor has them. So does Emily. I think Emily was talking about it last week. So she kind of had well, I think
I'm pretty sure I watched her do a bar muscle up.
Yeah,
or like a bar up.
Yeah, I think she has a bar muscle up because she has more shoulder function than I do.
Oh, okay.
Or I think. Yeah, because she can like raise her hand above her head and stuff like that. I meant to have a conversation with her. I need to circle back with her about like Erbs palsy stuff.
Yeah,
because I think that'd be interesting. I think I told this to someone, I can't remember who it was, but it was like I always thought it would be more challenging to be a woman with Erbs than a guy. From an emotion.
I don't know. That's yes and no.
Yeah, because like you're like, oh, I like don't look pretty enough, you know. I guess I don't.
But then you don't have like boys are also very mean. I don't know. Did you get picked on a lot when you're in elementary school?
No, that's the thing. I don't have a lot of memories of being bullied. I mean, there were a couple assholes that I remember like in middle school.
Yeah.
But it was like not a common thing. It was like a very rare thing. And I think it was, I mean, partially maybe like personality stuff too. Like I wasn't putting myself out there to like
gotcha.
Get bullied. And this was something I learned from working at a boys' school. Like I feel like it doesn't matter to some extent, like what you have going on, like how you look or how you act. Like if like there's some things that a kid will do that makes him more likely to be bullied. You know, I won't say he deserves to be bullied. That may be a little strong, but like, if you're a little asshole, like other kids are going to bully you because you're mean and you have this weird thing. You know,
you got a weird arm.
Yeah, you have. Okay, it's like one thing if like the nice kid has a weird arm and is easygoing and somewhat gets along with people, but if you're like a little like terror, a little pain in the ass, and you have a weird arm, it's like, okay, let's make fun of his weird arm.
It's funny how like all my friends that I grew up with, I'm still friends with, and after that accident, they did not care. They made so much fun of me. It was it's so brutal how like, and they're my true friends, and it's obviously funny and we laugh together, but they get so brutal with it. And I think Danny's like starting to learn that too. Like I think he's starting to learn that like you can make fun of me. It's not like it's not gonna hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
You know, as long as I know you, then I don't really care.
Yeah. No, I think, I feel like I can relate to that because it was like the things that would hurt my feelings weren't like, oh, because I felt like I was not attractive or interesting to people. It was like someone saying, oh, you can't be at the bottom of a human pyramid because of your arm. It's like, no, yes, I can. Like, what are you talking about? You know?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. That bothered me. That would hurt me. But not like, oh, someone, said something mean. I don't know. Like, I don't even remember people saying mean things to me growing up that much. I remember like a couple kids. Yeah. I don't know. Bullying. But again, I don't know. I'll double down on that thing about like, okay, if like you can, like there's kids that ask to be bullied almost.
There definitely is.
I don't know.
I would probably be one of those kids because I was an asshole.
Maybe that's why your friends are all like make fun of you. Like,
Yeah, I'm an asshole because my friends raised me.
This is our chance to make fun of Tyler.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh my gosh. All right, should we call it? Or we have one viewer here. Shout out to the Lone Ranger here who's hanging out with us.
It's probably me. Yeah, it is.
Oh, really? Okay, wait. Go maybe let's.
Before we turn this off, I wish Vic was here too. I want to maybe try to create We should try to create an adaptive team. Come up with a name. Come up with some dope shirts, and we can have like a couple of different athletes on each. In each division on it, eventually grow it to something big. I think that'd be pretty cool.
So like a
Vic
crew.
can run it since he's not competing anymore. He's going to keep competing.
He's competing.
I bet you he ends up doing one of the lifts at Sea Dogs.
Yeah. That's right, because he's not competing at Sea Dog, right?
I think he's doing like all the programming for it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I know the owner of the Sea Dog said that he wasn't supposed to be competing, so we'll see. Hopefully, I do plan on doing it though. I can't sign up for something this early.
Yeah.
But if everything goes to plan, then I'll definitely be there. I'll definitely let you know, and if I end up going by myself or with the wife, but even at that, we can always maybe all get an Airbnb together or something. So
yeah,
I know like Vic said, we can stay at his house if we're by ourselves. So if it ends up just being me and you, we can always just chill with Vic.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think I wouldn't mind going at an Airbnb with you and your wife. Probably it's less crowded. Because I think Victor was talking about like other guys, like he was gonna.
Yeah, and if there's a bunch of people, I don't want a bunch of people too. Like,
I mean, I don't know what kind of house Victor has, but probably not like.
I know like they're also supposed to get an Airbnb for all of the other athletes, or they're gonna try to get an Airbnb for all the other athletes.
Oh, interesting.
Which would be for the people that need it, for the people that are going super far away.
Yeah.
But if we do go, make sure we take some time afterwards off so we can all hang out and chill. Don't just leave the next day. So if I do it, I'm going to take that whole entire week off after it. So that way me and the wife afterwards can just hang out, and chill for the week. But while you're out there, because Jupiter, Florida is pretty dope.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, was that? Oh, I thought I got confused with the team stuff. Was your last idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know.
I feel like, is there any adaptive teams at all other than? I mean, everyone like kind of just does their own team as like their gym, but
yeah,
I don't really see any like actually good adaptive only teams. So I think that'd be sick if we can get, try to build a brand out of it.
Yeah, I feel like it should. It's almost just like it could just start as like just friends,
Mm-hmm.
Like if there's someone who we hit it off with like in a way that's like cool on, the podcast here. It's like, okay, you're in, you're like a regular, everyone, you should just show up and you're like just one of us, kind of like, it's kind of just like I don't know.
Definitely maybe some like a couple of people that came on here first who didn't know anything about this. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you, me, Victor, I don't know. Who's another? I mean, Danny. Like, okay, that's, I don't know. Like, that's the beginning of the team.
Yeah. We had to come up with a name, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to be a lot harder than
I don't have any great ideas. It's 8:41.
Only thing I could think of, and it wouldn't really work for everyone else, but like clipped, like, because like we got our arms clipped.
Like, spelled, let's see. I don't know. Like just CLPT.
CLIPPED, clipped. I don't know. I don't know how to spell.
Well, you could like, I don't know. You could do like a. CLPT looks a little weird. You could do like just like a cool.
It has to be a name that like has to make sense with the original people, like for either adaptive or disabled, or adaptive or 1-point contact only type of deal. Like clipped makes sense because it's like our arms got clipped.
Yeah, right.
So having to find a relative name for that is going to be interesting. I was supposed to do a team comp last year, like the beginning of the year before the games.
Mm-hmm.
And our team name was going to be, I was supposed to partner up with this girl, Taylor, and we were going to do the team partnering scaled. And we came up with the name One Arm Down. But I never got to compete because I ended up blowing my knee out. I ended up getting knee plica and I couldn't bend my knee anymore. So I had to bail out of it. But
was that recently?
What?
Was that recently?
That was like basically 1 year ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, Tyler, do you have two phones open here? Is that?
I got one.
Okay.
Did I close out of it though?
I don't know. Wait. Oh, you did close out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have two last minute. I bet it's Victor. I bet Victor.
Vic finally comes up.
I bet Victor's low-key just.
How many do we have more?
I think Victor.
How many did we have earlier? We had a few people commenting on it.
Yeah.
Helps that he was on there because those are all his followers.
Oh yeah, I mean, Rolo is super legit. Like he's an awesome dude. Like he's been around. He's put in the time, and
he has.
He gave some super cool advice.
That's why I wish I knew. I wish I knew who he was before this, so that way I could actually.
Dude, I posted it on my thing.
No, I saw that, but I thought it was going to be adaptive. I didn't look into it. It's
I guess like
my fault.
He's like you don't like like I just put that picture of him. Like there wasn't like I didn't have like a good brand recognition for Meme for Time.
Yeah,
kind of what because he doesn't use his face in his profile pics. Like it's just you would know his face because you saw a bunch of his videos.
And I do remember like I've ran across this page before, and I didn't understand the name with the picture and then the CrossFit. Like I didn't really put two together to see what it really was. But at the same time, I don't social media that much. So
hey, I mean, if you could just be that guy who like drops in random videos of yourself super raw and like everyone like.
I wanted to do one today. I wanted to because I've been working on my form for Power Clean, and I was going to try to get a new PR today for Power Clean because I think I can get one. But I got to the gym and I like put the bar down like on the ground. I went to go do like my first kind of stretch, and I was like, no, we're putting this back. And I ended up just doing the class. I was like, there's no way. I'm too tired.
Yeah. Yesterday you were saying was your rest day.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna take off.
Cool. Yep. Let's call it. I'm sorry, those two people you have to watch the recording. Thank you for joining us on this week's Nighttime Talk. This is Brian Knight and Tyler. Good night. Good luck.
Guys.
Godspeed.
Oh my God.